Okay, everybody wanted to know about sex-linked problems in humans, I'm sure. One of the ones you hear about the most, there are two, colorblindness and hemophilia. Hemophilia is something that usually in class we talk about the Tsars of Russia, which is something that I think that you guys cover in social studies in like 6th or 7th grade, and you watch some movie about it. There's also some Disney movie about it. The last Tsars, but the Tsars of Russia and the royal family, Queen Victoria was a carrier for this, and she had a bajillion kids, and as royal queens are supposed to do, and she had a bunch of children who had daughters who were also carriers and sons who had it. And the Tsar of Russia did not have it, but because it was his wife who was the carrier, but one of their sons did, and Prince Alexei. So this might be ringing some bells with you guys from, 6th grade social studies. It is it's not terribly common, but it is something that appears in humans. Right, do the next one. Okay. So, in humans, hemophilia is a sex-linked recessive trait. A female who is a carrier for hemophilia. So, let's do our allele key first. Let's make them H's, because H's are great. No alleles. Always start with our no allele. For the Y chromosome, X big H is normal. And, oh, hemophilia, I should have said. Hemophilia causes your blood to not clot properly. So, that's the thing. X little h is hemophilia, which means that they, now there's a lot of good treatments for it, but back in the day, usually people boys with this did not live out of, childhood because they, because they had, they would get injured and they would bleed to death. All right, so a female who is a carrier, so that means she is big H, X, little h, and that means she is both female and normal, which is what we call a carrier, and marries a male with normal blood clotting. That's how he got to be a grown-up male and not dead. So H, so he's both male and normal. All right. Okay, so let's make our cross, X big H, X little h. There's our mom carrier, and here's our X big H, normal dad. So we have children that are X big H, X big H, X big H. So our daughters are on the top, and our sons are at the bottom. Normal male, male with hemophilia. So again, we have all the genotypes, X big H, X big H, X big H, X little h, X big H, Y, X little h, Y. The probability is 25% for each of them, or 1 in 4, because that's what 25% means. This one, oh, we're going to make our key again. This is male. This is female. And so this one is female, normal. This one is also female and normal, but she's a carrier, meaning that her sons could have it because she's like her mother. This one is male and normal, meaning that his blood clots normally. And this one is male with hemophilia. All right, what fraction of the female children will have hemophilia? None. They're all normal clotting. All right, what fraction of the female children will be carriers? So you got to read the question really carefully. What fraction of female children? So we're only talking about the female children. So 1 in 2, or 50%. What fraction of male children will have normal clotting blood? 50%, because we're talking about only males. So 50% of them will have normal clotting blood. What fraction of male children will be carriers? None of them are carriers. Males can never be carriers. What fraction of male children will have hemophilia? Again, we're only talking about the males, so it is 50%. What if I ask the question, what percentage, if we wrote the same question, what percentage of all children will have hemophilia. And then the question, because most people don't really care if their children are male or female, they care if they have hemophilia. Like if you're talking about those two things, do you care if it's a boy or a girl, or do you care if it can clot blood and like live normally? Most people care if their child can live normally. So what percentage of all children will have hemophilia? And the answer is 25%. So 25%, each child that they have has a 25% chance of having hemophilia.